which keeps the aroma very, vibrant in it. That's the secret.
When you think about worldwide competition, the fact that you're winning, as you said, says a lot about the quality itself. So let's talk about the behind the scenes and the process of making this award-winning olive oil. And the only thing I'm going to ask when we talk about the process is, there are people watching and listening who are very shoulder deep and they understand harvest and they understand the process. There's also people who, other than using it on their salad, they really just aren't that knowledgeable. So let's try to be a little more basic, but also bringing in the details.
Yeah, I'll keep it simple. Okay. Harvest, actually, it doesn't start with the harvest. It is a year-long process. We have around 100 acres of land with over 10,000 trees that we take care of with a team of 7 full-time on the field every day. We don't use any fertilizers. We don't use any pesticides. We don't use anything chemical, because one reason is our grows are literally on mountains, right? They're not plantations. Many olive oil brands have what people call olive farms, where the companies do intensive and super high density farming, which means that where maybe 10 trees would go, they plant 100 trees. So it's like very compact, producing very high yield olives, but lacking taste because they're fed with irrigation all the time. So the olives get like really big when they are given water every day. Whereas our olives don't have irrigation because it's on the mountains, and our olives are relatively smaller, which keeps the aroma very, vibrant in it. That's the secret behind. A lot of people who taste our early harvest olive oil say that it's a little bit bitter, especially right after the harvest. That comes from the antioxidants that are loaded in it, because our olives are very small. The density is higher. Density of antioxidants is higher, so that's why the bitterness comes in. So, like I said, no chemicals, no fertilizers. We just prune the trees. Prune means cutting the excessive branches, because we're working in a very scarce nutrient environment. Like I said, no fertilizers. So you have to keep the trees very optimal by cutting the unnecessary trees and branches, so that whatever there is in the soil goes to the fruit. That's why our team of 7 constantly does these kind of things, these kind of physical touches, no chemical alteration or anything. And around October, we start walking around the groves to determine the day of the harvest. That is the most exciting time of the year, because we're working with low yields due to not using fertilizers. We really have to optimize the day of the harvest to maximize, our production. So when we determine that day, which is mid-October usually, we start harvesting. We hire local men and women who are living in those nearby villages, and we go in with a team of 20 to 30, depending on a lot of things. And we keep it for 90 days until January. We don't want to go into January because fruit flies, weather conditions, and a lot of other things impact the quality. So we try to finish everything from mid-October until January. We work with a local mill to process our olives. We right after we take 2 batches every day, one in the afternoon and one at night, because we don't want to wait in between. Like if you start at harvest at 8 a.m. and harvest until 4 p.m., the olives that you have harvested at 8 a.m. will have waited like 9 hours before going into the processing machine, right? We don't want to do that, because as the olive waits, fermentation starts and the quality decreases. So we do 2 deliveries every day to the local mills, one in the afternoon and one like around 4 to 5 p.m. This way we ensure that our olives go right into production within 2 to 4 hours of harvest, which is a great number. Believe me, we're working really hard to maintain that. And like I said, we do that until January, and then we store our olive oil in stainless steel tanks in temperature and humidity controlled rooms with nitrogen gas used as buffer between the olive oil and the rim. Because like, think of a 5-ton tank, right? You fill it out, but there's always some portion of the tank that is left empty. And there's oxygen in that empty part. And when olive oil touches with oxygen in the stainless steel tank as it is stored, oxidation starts, which leads to rancidity, which decreases the quality of the olive oil. So we take that oxygen out by pumping in another gas, of course, food grade, safe and everything. No worries there. But that's the level of attention and care that we give to our olive oil.
There are a lot of similarities to wine in that process. And I just wanted to clarify one thing you mentioned is the timeline from the olives arriving to being processed. Every minute counts there, because you need those olives to get processed as quickly as possible to keep them fresh and flavorful and robust and not let them basically spoil. Correct? Berk, you've given us a lot of good information. So now it's your turn. What can we do for you? Let's talk about website. Let's talk about where to find you on social media. Let's talk about how to buy and where we can buy your olive oil.
So we're available online at heraclea.co. There's no M in the end. A lot of people miss that, and then they're like, we can't find your website. Where is it? We're available online. We will very soon be available on Amazon, which I know some people choose when they want to shop. Prime 2-day delivery is amazing.
So let's go back. You mentioned the website. You mentioned where to buy it. Are you on social media? Can we find you, follow you, tweet to you? So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
Yes.
Which of those are you on, and how do we find you?
We're available on all social platforms that you mentioned, and our, what do you call it? Profile name or...
Profile name, username, handle.
Username, handle is the same across all platforms, and it is We Are Heraclea.
We Are Heraclea?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I appreciate your time, and we're going to look for you online. Congratulations on Amazon, and we're going to find you on social media as well. Berk, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.